Hi, welcome to Fuki Cafe, a safe place to talk about just about anything. I'm Ivy Cohn, your host for this show, and we have a great show today. We have the Synthetic Unlimited Theater Troupe. Several of the people present are members from the original founding group of thespians. So let's take a look at who we have here with us today. We've got Jimmy McCammon, Micah Cohn, Marcus Aurelianus, close enough, and Grace Faye. And so from each of you, I'd like to hear a little bit about how you actually ended up getting into theater. And we'll start there, and then we'll look at the history of Synthetic Unlimited a little bit.
Sounds good, Ivy.
Oh, thank you. Jimmy,
is that my turn? Am I first?
You're first.
All right, we'll go left to right.
All right.
I'm Jimmy McCammon, and I started out in theater, I suppose, in college. I did a lot of different majors in college before I found theater, and then once I did, I thought that you can just kind of get out into the world and start doing this one. So that's what I did, and we went out and founded a theater company, started doing original plays and stuff like that, and ever since I've been pretty dedicated to the art and kind of growing our company at the same time, you know, with this group of cats here. So that's my story, and I've been acting and directing locally for about 10 years, I guess.
Very good, very good. Micah.
I got involved in theater here in Nevada County in 1992. That was what is that, 21 years ago now. It's hard to believe. Started working with a local children's theater group, the Performing Arts Guild of Nevada County, and did some plays with them for about 4 or 5 years, and continued on through junior high and on into high school at Nevada Union. Mm-hmm. And shortly before graduation, got hooked up with some longtime friends who were all founding members of what eventually ended up growing into Synthetic Unlimited. Mm-hmm. And that would have been in 2002 that Taste Like Dentist, which is Synthetic Unlimited, began. And continuing to work with as many companies here in town as I can.
Yeah, great. Yeah, well, this is a good thing. And we'll just come right on across to Marcus. How did you get involved in theater?
I went to a performing arts high school as a sophomore, and I switched over from being a visual artist into being an Indian in Peter Pan. And then I kind of got hooked into theater, and I've been doing it ever since, doing as much as I can, and then moved up here last July and got into Antony and Cleopatra, and I really enjoy working with these guys.
Oh, you found a great troupe to work with, too. Yeah. And Grace?
Well, I'm originally from Connecticut, and I was probably about 7 years old when I had seen enough movie musicals that I decided I was going to be a Broadway actress when I grew up. So I continued to train from age 7 on in voice and dance and acting. And I was part of a community theater in Connecticut from the time I was 11 until I was 21. We had a board of directors, and I learned how to direct and choreograph and perform. And since I've moved to Nevada County about 6 years ago, I've performed with most of the local groups here, Legacy Productions, Sierra Stages, Cats, and now Synthetic Unlimited. So we're so excited about our upcoming season, and we hope to provide many more opportunities for younger artists and actors to both learn about theater and participate in our productions.
I think that's probably one of the more exciting things to me, to see how this group has not only grown, but really drawn a lot of young people and new talent, and given them a venue to explore. So it was a pretty small group that got started back in the day. You two are relatively new.
Yeah, we're new. With Antony and Cleopatra was our first production. So.
Okay, and that's recent times. That's just last year. Mm-hmm. Wow. However, Micah and Jimmy were some of the founding members, as I recall correctly, and I think Ian.
Ian Haynes.
Ian Haynes.
Jesse Sabin. My brother and sister, Danny and Katie,
Right.
were on board, I think, back in those days.
Lori
And-
Caldwell.
Yeah.
And didn't
Quite a few
Jesse and
Aaron
Ian,
Clancy, who's doing films in New York now, is was in one of our first productions, that Crazy Glue Horse or something. Yeah.
Well, I having been privileged to attend some of those early productions, I can say that your finesse has increased over the years, but they were really interesting. They were original. You wrote your own material. I don't know that you were involved in writing.
I wasn't. I think most of the writing was done by Ian Haynes, who's currently a member on our board of directors, and Jesse Sabin, who is also a member of Synthetic Unlimited, but not really involved to any extent further than that at this point. But yeah, the two of them and Rory Stevenson as well, I think that really, mainly Jesse and Ian were responsible for the bulk of the writing.
And some of it was
directing.
very, very bizarre.
We say abstract in theater.
I see, very abstract.
Absurd.
Absurdist, yeah.
Yes,
To say
absurdist.
the least.
You know, one of my most cherished memories, really, of those early days was trotting over to the Black Box Theater and, you know, all excited. And, you know, you and Micah had, you know, I don't even remember the name of the show, but you know which one I'm talking about. What was the name of that
Eat
show?
Crow.
Eat Crow.
Penned by Jesse Sabin.
Penned by Jesse Sabin, and I'm sitting there. What you don't know at this point is that, in fact, Micah is my son. So I've had a lot of rehearsals occurring on my porch over the years. So I'm sitting there and I'm yelling, and oh my God, Jimmy's killing my son and cutting out his kidneys. It was really.
That was for the arts.
It was for the arts, and I did get over it, but you know, it shook me to the core.
I didn't get over it. I'm still waiting for at least one of my kidneys to come back.
There you go. See, so you know, Grace and Marcus, you two missed out on some of this like really bizarre early action.
I think it will return.
Well, it kind of creeps in, you know, here and there, and so you can't really ever get rid of it, nor do we want to. So the many things that you have done have sort of been mushed together into, well, no, that's not true. There's a promo piece that you're running on your website.
Yeah.
And that was shot specifically, and there were little bits and pieces of some productions produced by Cayman
Hodges, put together our video. It is basically a 60-second explanation of what we do, and it's available on our website. It has some clips from, I think, our most recent shows, like at the Nevada Theater. Antony and Cleopatra and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern specifically, and then other stuff that we've done too.
And we're going to take a look at that promo that you're running on your website in just a moment. But I was impressed by the high-tech lighting on you.
Oh.
Everybody needs to like just get prepared and pay close attention to this high-tech lighting.
This is very high-tech.
Film
Very
noir.
high-tech lighting coming up in this clip that is on Synthetic Unlimited's website.
What is Synthetic Unlimited?
Synthetic Unlimited is a production company. It's comedy, it's drama, it's musical theater, it's your band.
Original works, dance parties.
It's operated by the members.
PM, and I'd like to call this meeting to order.
Artists absolutely need support for these processes. When someone has come up with a vision, there necessarily has to be other artists involved. Designers, performers, actors, musicians. That's what Synthetic Unlimited does. We provide that support.
Theater is a team sport.
You have to experience it.
And it's really good because we have nothing else to do.
Their productions are always exciting and always offer a few surprises.
We want to take classic Shakespeare plays, put them on a truck, and take them on the road.
It's a community of artists who help each other bring their vision to reality.
Take a little look back into the history.
Hey, food chief, check this out.
Oh.
You remember the hot broad I was telling you about earlier?
The maid?
Nah, the one on the roof. Showed me her phone, claimed there was an accident.
You're sure it wasn't?
She could tell I was back there. Didn't do anything to stop the wind from picking up that pretty little skirt of hers either.
Awfully cold weather for a skirt.
She was standing over the exhaust vent for warmth, made her look just like Mistress F. Kennedy.
What? She went on the roof in the first place, Carl.
I don't know. She was on something, you can tell. Probably coke, real gabby. Probably coke, real gabby. Real like Yeah.
This is the one you gave the room key to?
Yeah, well, don't go telling my mother nothing about it, but you're goddamn right it is. She's a little bit of a snowflake, but she's no crack hoe. I mean, you might have known her, Dawn. She's from the Midwest or something.
Don't you get tired of changing the locks every other week?
What kind of sick game are you playing anyways here, Dawn? You know, Dawn, when I play games, I always win.
Is it about winning and losing now, Carl? Victor and Morton are only concerned with life and death.
Who? Who's Victor and... Who's making it life and death? There's nothing life and death. Who are you talking about? It's always been a game. What is going on here anyways? Who is this guy?
Have you ever heard of Dolly the sheep, Dolly the sheep? Well, this here, Carl, is Jeremy the Mark.
Jeremy the Mark.
Second, that is. He is the second ever corporate-sponsored genetically cloned human being. The creation of a cooperation of cunning cadavers, crossed wires, and whimsical DNA-altering desires.
So he's like a robot?
Yes, like a computer.
Well, who cares? What the hell is he doing in Reno, Nevada?
It's not Nevada. It's Nevada. I say Nevada.
I say Nevada.
I say we should.
And I say we oughta
Go out with a bang.
So there's a little feel for some of the early work from Synthetic Unlimited, and it actually, I just have cherished memories. Micah, can you speak a little bit to that piece?
Yeah, absolutely. What you've just seen were a few clips from actually the reprise of Cry Little Girl, which was actually Tastes Like Dentist / Synthetic Unlimited's very first production in the off-center stage at the Center for the Arts in Grass Valley. And had you have been able to have seen clips from the very first production of Cry Little Girl that we did, I think that would have been very illustrative of sort of the direction that we've been able to go over the course of the last few years in terms of tightening things up, streamlining concepts and ideas, certainly with regard to our original works, and making the whole experience a little bit more, as you said, polished. But Cry Little Girl was tons of fun. Both of the productions were a blast, and I actually originally played the character that Jimmy was playing in that clip, the Carl Caligari, the crazed owner of some hotel and casino in Reno, Nevada. Nevada. So anyway, it was a blast. We had a great time with those two productions, and it was a lot of fun to see the clips. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, we have actually a reading. You might notice here on the set that we're missing a couple people who have repositioned over here to give us a a reading from something that is actually coming up, Grace.
That's right.
You said that this is one of the next shows. Could you speak to that just for a moment?
Yes, this is from Tennessee Williams' Kingdom of Earth, which is not as well known as some of his other plays like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof and A Streetcar Named Desire. We're doing this second in our season. So we are attempting something very ambitious as our company grows. We're producing 7 shows in 7 months, full-length plays, 2 hours each, with completely different casts every month from April to October this year, 2013, at the Stonehouse in Nevada City. And we'll also be serving dinner and drinks. So it's very exciting. Our first play is Speed the Plow by David Mamet, a 3-person piece. And the second play, which opens in May, is this Kingdom of Earth. So we are in the Mississippi Delta. I play a showgirl from Mississippi who has won a husband on a TV show. This is set in the 60s.
No Bachelor yet.
Yeah, there wasn't a Bachelor, but this was something like that. We get the idea. This was something like that. So I won a husband, and he happens to be a very effeminate, cross-dressing husband, the eldest son of this plantation in Mississippi. So he brings me home in the middle of flood season to this home, where I meet his half-brother, Chicken, who's a slightly rougher version of my effeminate husband. Tennessee Williams always plays, he was a homosexual at a time when it wasn't as accepted. So he's always sort of discussing these issues in his plays.
Well, let's go ahead and take a listen.
Yeah, little short scene.
You feel comfortable?
Yes, very. Are you?
I always make myself as comfortable as I can.
Why not? You should. A man should.
Should what?
Why, make himself as comfortable as he likes.
How about you? Are you comfortable too on those 3 soft cushions?
Yes, I told you I was. I'm just a little worried about my husband. Well, I had no idea. I simply had no notion at all that he was in such a bad condition as this. I mean, I didn't have an idea.
It's like you bought a used car that turned out to be a lemon.
Oh, that's not how I look at it. That boy has touched the deepest chord in my nature. I mean...
Quit that. I want to talk to you.
Oh, yes, talk.
I guess you know the setup.
The what?
The setup. Do you know it?
The only setup I know is in the dry state. They'll serve you a setup for liquor, but not the liquor. You got to bring that with you.
If I was your lawyer, I would advise you not to try to be funny.
Can't we joke a little?
I'd advise you against it.
All right, I'll take that advice. But, Chicken, do you know that all the electric equipment I won as the Take Life Easy Queen is still in that car with a leaking top being rained on?
Forget that stuff. It can't be saved from the floodwater. Can you concentrate on the legal setup if I explain it to you, or do you think it's something that don't concern you?
I'm anxious to know about the setup.
You don't seem to want to know about the setup.
No, that's not true. I do.
I'll explain it to you.
Yes, wonderful. Do that. Whatever concerns this place and my future life on it is important to me to understand and to know.
Well, Lot and me are half-brothers. Has that sunk into your head yet?
Oh, yes, that I do know. It came out in the conversation we had when we first met this day.
That's right, you got that straight. Maybe you know the rest of it.
You drink some. I like to see a man drink.
What I am going to do is tell you about the setup, all of it. The rest you might now know.
What is the rest of the setup?
Daddy got Lot in marriage, but not me. You're looking at what's called a woods colt. When I was 10 years old, he married this little blonde-headed woman that worked in a beauty shop in Clarksdale. Are you listening, or are you still too nervous to listen?
I'm listening close, all ears.
I wouldn't say that about you, but I'd advise you to listen close as you're able to me. This little lady that worked in the beauty parlor in Clarksdale was named Miss Lottie. So when Lot was born, he got the name of Lot. Legal, born in marriage, not a woods colt. Me, woods colt. You know what a woods colt is?
No, I don't know that I know. All I know is you look...
Dark complected?
Foreign. Foreign?
My son of a bitch of a daddy got me off a dark complected woman he lived with in Alabama. What about it?
Why, nothing. Ain't Ain't you drinking no more this awful night?
Why you so anxious for me to drink more?
I don't like drinking alone. It makes me lonesome.
Very nice. Thank you. Wow, I'm going to have to get myself down there to see that particular performance. And when does this one open?
It opens in mid-May at the Stonehouse.
Mid-May, okay.
And our chef, Sean Sullivan, is actually matching his dishes to the performances. So there'll be Southern comfort food. Like fried chicken, yeah, collard greens, yeah, a little bit of Southern comfort, some Southern drinks served before this show, yeah, and during.
Well, that was really a good taste and nice. I mean, you stayed right in those accents. Yeah,
working on it. Yeah, we have another British. We have an Italian play coming up and a British play. A lot of accents to work on.
Well, we're going to take a little look back in time again. This is the next piece that we're going to be talking about and actually seeing clips from is Free Food Forever. And let's see, we do have a reading on that, don't we? Free food.
Yeah, me and Micah have one.
Okay, so what we're going to do while we're waiting to reposition people is go ahead and take a look at the clips from Free Food Forever. Micah, what year was that? Do you recall?
Jimmy would be a better. I believe that was what, 2008,
2006.
It all kind of
blurs together.
Blurs around,
okay.
gets mishmashed together.
So let's go ahead and take a look at these two clips from Free Food Forever.
I hereby call to order this meeting of the Board of Directors of Now Newsworks, the Walmart Films for Children Corporation, and various other corporations that shall remain nameless. First item on the agenda, the purchase of all Dakota County media outlets, public services, and candy machines. All in favor? Aye! Done! Oh, God damn it. Buying stuff makes me so hot. All in favor? Aye! Second item on the agenda.
Outsourcing of extra work down at the studios to Malaysian teenagers. They come in all sizes, you can paint them any color, and they're willing to work for sunflower seed shells. Besides, we recently had a problem with some of the Green Valley extras. They thought the food was free. Don't hire local talent.
No. All in favor of Malaysian tea.
Aye!
Oh, my little pokey puffy fugu fish.
Oh, sugar nuts.
Darling, please don't call me sugar nuts in front of the board. It's unkind.
I'm sorry, Rudolph.
It's forgivable. Can you report to the board?
Oh, yes, I've been through a horrendous ordeal. I was on vacation in Green Valley when I was accosted by a bunch of vagrants and junkies. They all wanted money, and when I tried to leave, they drugged me. There wasn't a trustworthy cup of coffee or morsel of food in sight. The police are incompetent, so potheads and vandals run the streets. For the love of all we adore in civilization, something must be done.
Mr. Murdoch, I found this young Malaysian girl working at one of your studio's filming locations in Green Valley.
I'm not
Working
Malaysian.
illegally, Mr. Murdoch. The human rights violation that has gone on under your sponsorship and with the supervision of this government has gone on long enough. Free Mumia, free the Genus 6, free, what's your real name, little girl?
Persephone Ann.
Free Persephone Ann. That has a nice ring to it.
All right. I hardly believe this is the proper venue for you to air your grievances, Miss.
Miss Bender, Savannah Bender, I'm here on business.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm here on a bender.
And never ever get
All joking aside, Miss Bender, this is a board of directors, for Christ's sake. We can't make policy.
Mr. Murdoch.
You, insane broad number one, tell us what to do.
I thought you'd never ask. I'm still a little wasted, but I may have a solution that could make the problem go away.
Tell me more.
Darling, do you remember Times Square?
Oh, yes. I remember.
I had a dream that I was a cat. I was actually devoid of that. My old husband seemed didn't care about that. I woke from the night there in a cold, cold sweat. That's when I decided that I would be a dope smoking, cart pushing red.
Help me!
Oh, hey there now, Miss Hamilton. You didn't like that one, huh? But I tell you what, you need to really sick, man. Mama, I tell you, I dream of a day when bicycles ruled the freeways. I was so intellect, channeled by brainwaves, human propelled, shifting, changing, high-speed highways. Computer self-destruction, not what else would help from. Mama, I tell you, I dream of a day when the bicycles ruled the freeways. I was soul, intellect, channeled by brainwaves, human propelled, shifting, changing, high-speed highways. Computer self-destruction, not what else would help from.
Wow, that was great. I've had snickering off to the edges here because of memories and flashbacks. So just
Flashbacks, yeah,
flashbacks,
right.
exactly. So those two clips actually had Micah Cohn performing in two separate parts, and that was Cat Food, I believe was his name, Cat Food, in the second clip. So Micah and Jimmy, a little comment about the Free Food Forever here before we do a reading?
Yeah, well, it was basically a farce based on the experience of having had the film, the Hallmark film, a Christmas,
The Christmas Card.
The Christmas Card, right? Filmed in our town, and so we made this farcical film set called A Christmas Light, if I'm not mistaken, and we made a play about the filming of this Hallmark film, and so the extras couldn't get hired from, the local extras couldn't get hired, and they had a food cart out in the street for the Ed Asner and the famous actors, and they couldn't get their hands on that either, and so the play was called Free Food Forever because it was kind of based on this iconic fight over this food cart that is on stage the whole time. So the scene that we're going to read for you is two recurring characters throughout the play. The now newsman, Redlow Nats, he's like the local news anchor guy, and the assistant director of the film itself. So it's basically a little interview that the local newsman from Dakota City is doing with the assistant director of this film.
Back to Now News Networks. I'm Redlow Nats. In every single town in this great nation, every single day of the year, people like these are making their living. They go to work and they return to their families. They eat together, work together, and celebrate the holidays together. But this particular year, in this particular village, Christmas came in March.
Well, we were just trying to shoot this little commercial piece, bring a little notoriety to this crap hole. A little Asnerade. But wherever you go, you get a bunch of poor people whining. Like, don't knock out our lights, and hey,
hey, give us jobs so that we can survive. And I'm just like totally stressed out, you know. So I say, hey, poor people, I didn't make you poor. I'm just doing my job for the Walmart movies for kids. Okay? For the kids.
And what was the movie called again?
The Christmas Light, starring Mr. Ed Asner. And you know, they're going to make their big Halloween on Ice at Disneyland DVD next fall. Very exciting. I'm just doing my job.
Thank you. Watch as our story unfolds. I'm Redlow Nats. Here are some actors.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
And you wrote that play, right, Jimmy?
Me? Yes. A version of me wrote that play.
a version of Jimmy wrote that play.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of in line with the whole, you know, evolving thing. You know, I mean, there are a lot of early works that were kind of had the social commentary edge going on there. And Shakespeare, of course, is the ultimate social commentary, and that's what you're kind of launching into more now.
Well, it's funny. I mean, the idea that we had while doing these original pieces was kind of to do more of these, and the reason Synthetica Unlimited got brought into the mix when we were doing this was a few of us had the idea, let's do some published works, you know, some works with a name to kind of support our original works. You know, most theater companies that have an annual schedule, you know, they do a whole bunch of published plays that people know about, that have a great draw to them, and then they try some experimental works over, you know, in the winter months or whatever. And so that was kind of the plan that started germinating at that time, and that's what we're deep into right now is, you know, doing those published works, and we're going to be bringing back the original stuff real soon too.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I keep encouraging that because I think some of these earlier pieces could be still timely, and you have a huge pool now of actors, and new, fresh people to bring into it. So just, you know, as we glance down, as I'm glancing down at the list of what they've produced over the last, what, 6, 7, 8 years?
7 years.
7 years. Cry Little Girl, Eat Crow, Crazy Glue Horse, Push, Hide and Seek, Fuddy Mears, Cry Again, Little Girl, Bury the Dead, Waiting for Godot, Free Food Forever, Glengarry Glen Ross, which I unfortunately missed, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. We're going to be seeing a clip from that in just a little while. And then Anthony and Cleopatra, which was fabulous. Fabulous. In fact, I think I'm sitting in your throne, Grace.
Yes, she's
you know, this
in the beautiful Egyptian throne.
Gorgeous, pretty throne. So we do have a little clip with the posters from previous shows, and as we go through these, I'm hoping that Micah and Jimmy will be able to give us a little commentary on them. So enjoy while we look at some of the beautiful posters from previous productions.
This is, Nobody's Listening is actually our weekly podcast we're starting in on, and Burning Down the House is a show that we've actually had in development for a long time, doing a Talking Heads tribute show. Bury the Dead is an old wartime drama from World War II that we produced in '07. In Game came right after that. We were technical advisors on that show, and so Fool for Love I directed and co-produced with the Center for the Arts. And there's Free Food Forever, which you saw a few chunks of, our abstract farce. Fuddy Mears is where we started directing published works. It's pretty much the very first one that we did. And then Glengarry Glen Ross came in on its tails and was highly successful. It was really good. This we produced was a one-night concert of Grace's album release, From the Apple, available on iTunes. And Katie Rubin here, I think the next two pictures are Katie's shows. She's come to Grass Valley with her show twice, and we've produced both times. So she's a great stand-up comic. And our second to last show in the Nevada Theater, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. This is another Center for the Arts production that we
provided technical assistance on. Speed the Plow coming up in April, starting in the middle of April next month. And this is what we did last summer, Antony and Cleopatra, the William Shakespeare play. I forget which year we did the Zeus story, but it was a one-weekend event. And there's the podcast again.
And there's the podcast.
Available weekly on syntheticulimited.org.
And iTunes.
And iTunes,
Yeah.
thank you.
So we're really excited at the upcoming, but it was nice to look back at things that have happened in the past. I like the whole notion of the podcast. That's nice.
They're really good, and especially if you are an artsy outfit already, because it gives you a little bit of a format to talk about, what your group gets into, and we talk about everything. We talk about the arts going on all over Northern California, and a lot of news commentary too, and a whole lot of cracking of jokes as well.
Oh yeah, we got to keep the jokes alive and well at all
Importantly,
times.
it's not regulated by the FCC, so
we do say whatever we want on it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, well, this is a foundational piece to doing theater. So actually, Grace, I'd like to get you into this conversation for a moment because we'd like to hear a little teeny bit more about what you've got for the upcoming season, and then kind of lead into the Nevada theater years too.
Absolutely. So we're in the process of doing a lot of these classic plays, which are good for the audience, to see some of these American and European playwrights done, to see live theater, and also good for our actors to practice as we practice getting ready for doing more original work. But we're repeating several of the playwrights that you saw in the last run of posters, like Edward Albee. We're going to produce Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf at the Stonehouse this July. And Tom Stoppard will probably come back again, Shakespeare, and also David Mamet, who's an American playwright who writes very fast-paced contemporary drama with a lot of swears, adult drama. So we open with Speed the Plow, a David Mamet play in April. Then we continue to The Kingdom of Earth, Tennessee Williams play, which you heard read. Then we're moving on to The Maids by Jean Genet. That was written in the 40s with 3 women. Then Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Then we're attempting an 18th century commedia dell'arte Italian comedy called The Servant of Two Masters. And we'll have a lot of traditional sword fighting and sort of mask work and mistaken identity. That's a sort of bring the kids production. That'll be in August. September, we're doing an English relationship drama by Harold Pinter called Betrayal. It's very well known in theater circles. And we close our season this year with a production of Othello, which will be Shakespeare's well-known play and will be done in an experimental way. We're going to be moving the audience through the Stonehouse to different sections of the Stonehouse and attempting using some modern technology, iPods and projector, that sort of thing, to make this play contemporary. We do a lot of cuts with our plays. We cut them down and we make them move along pretty quickly and keep them exciting and engaging. So we're very excited, and next year we hope to take some of these plays on tour, actually, to add a Shakespeare comedy, perhaps Much Ado About Nothing, which is one of Micah's favorite shows, to complement our tragedies, Antony and Cleopatra and Othello. Then we will have a comedy and a tragedy which we can perform on an outdoor stage here in Nevada County, of course, primarily, and also in the surrounding areas, Chico, Davis, Tahoe, Reno. So we're definitely excited about expanding. We just rented our first office space just last week. So that's a big step for us to have a brick and mortar space where we can hold rehearsals and events, teach workshops, and really create an education program and a school. Many of our members are professional theater educators. So we're very excited about giving them a platform to teach and provide that kind of education to the local kids and adults. And yeah, we're at 120 Jaworski Drive, and we're open as of now. So please stop by and buy a t-shirt and become a member. And you can hear that free podcast at www.syntheticunlimited.org, as well as buy tickets for Speed the Plow and Kingdom of Earth.
And congratulations on having an actual space.
Yeah.
That is like pretty outrageous.
We're a real business.
You are. And it's been, you know, garages and then having to like, oh my God, we forgot that, and then driving all the way back. And
The
so,
couple of years
you know,
we were camped out on your porch.
a couple of years,
Yeah.
yes. There was a little camping out on the porch. But I want to just jump over to the Nevada theater years. You did a couple outstanding productions there. One of them, Anthony and Cleopatra and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. But where did you perform the Romeo and Juliet?
The Romeo and Juliet scene that you're about to see is actually a piece that we put together for, especially for a Valentine's Day show that we did. We basically did an inaugural show at the Stonehouse to kick off this season, and it was on Valentine's Day, and so a few of us, me and Alexis Gross, put together a scene, love-related scene of Beatrice and Benedict from Much Ado, and Marcus and Rainey put together a scene of the famous balcony scene.
The balcony
from
scene.
Romeo and Juliet.
So basically what we're going to look at now is Marcus and Grace doing the scene from Romeo and Juliet. And we're so pleased that that Grace is very quick study and able to be flexible. Flexibility is our middle name, because the young lady who was to have joined us this evening could not. Rainey was not able to be here, and nor was Alexis, actually. So I think I'm going to let you two take it away. They're going to do this over on the side set, and enjoy.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. Soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. It is my lady, oh, it is my love. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. Oh, see how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night being o'er my head as is a winged messenger of heaven.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word.
What man art thou that thus be screened in night, so stumblest on thy counsel?
By a name? I know not how to tell thee who I am. Thank goodness. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
Art thou not Romeo, and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Lack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sights.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love, who first did prompt me to inquire.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hadst heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell, compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. But if thou swearst, thou mayst prove false. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I swear,
Oh!
that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all, or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love...
Oh, well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again. But to be frank, and give it thee again, and yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. I hear some noise within. Sweet love, adieu. Anon, good nurse! Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little. I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night. I am afeard. Being a night, all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse, to want thy light. Love goes toward love as schoolboys from their books. But love, from love, toward school, with heavy looks.
Romeo!
My dear?
At 1 o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
By the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stay here till thou remember it.
I shall forget to have thee stand there still, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay, to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were asleep in peace, so sweet to rest.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. It's really fun to have live stuff intermingled with old clips, and it is great. So we have actually one more thing that we're going to take a look at. And that is another clip from Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Actually, it's the only clip from Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. And so I think what we're going to do is roll right into that, take a look at that. When we come back, we're going to give you some website information. So we're going to jump right into no intro. We're running out of time. It was a great cast, wonderful set. Here it is. Take a look.
Explanation in our experience, most things end in death.
Your experience? I'm talking about death, and you've never experienced that, and you cannot act it. You die 1,000 casual deaths, and no blood runs cold anywhere, because even as you die, you know you will come back in a different hat. But no one gets up after death. There is no applause. There is only silence and some second-hand clothes, and that's death! Explanations for us, then let there be none for him! Oh.
Gentle friend! No flattery, it was merely compliment. Oh, and what did you think? You see, it is the kind that they do believe in. It's what is expected. For a moment you thought I cheated. Very good. Took me in completely. Didn't he take you in completely? Encore. Encore. Yes, for all ages and occasions. Death by suspension, convulsion, consumption, incision, execution, asphyxiation, and malnutrition. Climactic carnage. By poison and by steel. Double deaths by duel. So there's an end to that. It's commonplace. Light goes with light. And in the winter of your years, the dark comes early. No. No. No! Death is not romantic! And dying is not a game which shall soon be over! Death is not anything! Death is not! It's the absence of presence. The endless time of never coming back. A gap you can't see. And when the wind blows through it, it makes no sound. That's it then, is it? The sun's going down, or the earth's coming up, as the fashionable theory has it. Not that it makes any difference. What was it all about? When did it begin? Couldn't we just stay put? I mean, no one's going to come on and drag us up. They'll just have to wait. We're still young and fit. We've got years. We've done nothing wrong. We didn't harm anyone, did we? I can't remember. All right. I don't care. I've had enough. To tell you the truth, I'm relieved. The message, the summons, our names shouted in a certain dawn. There must have been a point at the very beginning where we could have said no. But somehow we missed it. Rosen! Gilkins! Well, we'll know better next time. Now you see me. Now you...
Now you don't. Go to www.syntheticulimited.org to get information about all their upcoming shows, other kinds of events, their podcast information. You can also go to YouTube. The YouTube information is right there on the screen for you. Unlimited Starts With You is how you'll find them, and how you'll find Fuki Cafe is on the Fuki Cafe channel on YouTube. It has just been absolutely swell having all of you here with us today.
Thank
this
you,
has really,
Carrie.
really
Thanks for
been
having
fun.
us.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Maybe we can do it again, in the fall, a little, wrap it up kind of a thing. And thank you to all of you out there who have been watching and hopefully enjoying this little journey through the history of Synthetic Unlimited, the theater company, and their vision for where they want to go from here. And until next time, be well. Thank you so much.